Well, we're on the road to Green Bay, on the road to WrestleMania as well. But on the road to Green Bay, NFL draft, Browns last week picking up Joe Flacco, maybe painting half the picture of what that QB room, or two-thirds of the picture, I think, is filled out for the Browns QB room. But who's going to be QB3, maybe QB1 in the future? I don't know if we're going to go quarterback at the top of this draft. It really sounds like it might be Abdul Carter, might be Travis Hunter at the top of the draft. But who's going to be that other quarterback that I think we're going to pick to get that quarterback room filled and potentially have a quarterback in the future? Drew, let's go to you first here. When we were first laying out who's all the players, you wanted to talk about this guy, Jaxson Dart. Would he be the perfect quarterback to round out this quarterback room?
Ah, no, but I think he is the best choice of who might be available. In this scenario, my guy Shedeur Sanders would have already been selected, potentially by the New York Giants, potentially by the Las Vegas Raiders. Most likely, we're not going to be trading up into the draft for him. I could be wrong on this, but that's sort of the scenario that we're playing out here to where what might they do at pick 33 or potentially moving up into the bottom half, bottom third of that first round. And I suspect if they do want to go up potentially a little bit to get a guy who can start this year. The really, in my opinion, the only additional choice other than those top two quarterbacks is Jaxson Dart from Ole Miss. He is a 3-year starter, so he has the sort of the prerequisite collegiate experience to be able to come in right away and give you some meaningful time if necessary. An accurate quarterback was asked to make full field reads, which is excellent, but albeit out of I refer to it as somewhat of a limited playbook. They would run a lot of the same concepts, just dressed up in different formations. So certainly has a lot to adjust to when you start talking about a full scale NFL playbook. But the weaknesses for Jaxson Dart, I believe, are the only weaknesses that can be easily corrected of these prospects that we're talking about here towards the bottom half of the first and into day two. So my big strengths for him is the accuracy, the arm talent, and he has enough athleticism that he can make some people miss. He can escape the pocket and extend the plays. He does have to play with some better anticipation. A lot of his reads were waiting for the receiver to be open versus throwing the receiver open. And he has some inconsistencies, I'll say at best, with zone coverage recognition. If you watch the Kentucky tape in particular, it looks like a bit of a horror show. So he certainly has a lot to read to adjust to in terms of being able to recognize zone coverage and how to beat that. And like a lot of young quarterbacks, he has some footwork inconsistencies, but I think a lot of those can be cleaned up. A lot of those weaknesses, if you give him some good coaching and really exceptional player coaching, this is somebody that I think can become eventually somebody that is a top half of the NFL type of a quarterback. I think he has that level of ceiling where he's into the 12 to 16 or 18 sort of a range. I think that's about as high as he's going to get, but that would be an excellent pick if you had that level of a player in the 30s or into the early day two if they were to stay put and pick him at number 33 overall. I would be thrilled with that choice. I think it would be a good developmental player, somebody that could go on to have a lot of success, especially in an offense like Kevin Stefanski's that is designed to give you a read downfield and then an answer. If you can operate to the offense, I think he could do really well that scheme.
Eric, do you think he falls to the second round? Like, do they have to move up? And is it a better bet to maybe look at someone like Jalen Milroe as that quarterback instead of Dart?
I've been seeing a lot of mocks lately with both going in the second round, but a mock's is only as good as its author, and I guess the author of these GMs, these NFL teams. So I could see it. But I mean, if the Browns really want one of those two guys that's not Shador or Cam, then you have your fifth-year option, obviously, in the first round with the quarterback as opposed to just the traditional four. So I could definitely see, Andrew Berry trading up 4 or 5 spots, probably at the most, to hopefully not give up more than a second. Hopefully no more than a third, but realistically, potentially a second. So it can happen, but we'll see. I mean, both are intriguing prospects, but both have their flaws. Two of all the flaws that Jaxson Dart has, Jalen Milroe, he's got the running speed. He broke 4.4 in his pro day. He's got the deep ball accuracy. He's worked with Tommy Reese before, and he's got a high ceiling. He's had really high moments. The game that sticks out the most in the positive sense was the Georgia game that they were up 30-7 in the first half. Georgia came back, but they ended up winning the game on a couple deep passes. So, when he's on, he's on. The problem is his inconsistency from game to game or throw to throw, and that was kind of highlighted in the Senior Bowl in his practice film. That was not consistent. We'll put it that way. He has shown bad tape on the other half. I think they put up a three burger at Oklahoma. Did not have a good ball game to end his career in college. So, he's had good moments, but he's also had bad moments. I did not see him progress the way I would have liked. I understand there was a coaching change, not only the head coach, but his position coach. So doesn't really give me a lot of faith. I could see definitely more in the project category. I know Drew referenced Jaxson Dart as a project in the second early second round, maybe late first round, but I could see him more as a guy that could go in maybe a game or two in his rookie year. I wouldn't feel confident with that with Jalen Milroe, at least in his rookie year. I would hope that the Browns have the right coaching staff to get the most out of him. They seem to only be able to develop those pocket drop back guys and not the guys that kind of work out a structure. So, that's kind of been Jalen's downfall. I mean, like I said, he can hit those home run balls. He can scramble and run down the field, but it's the 10-yard in, the post corner, the drag routes, any of those kind of under routes, 15 and in. Haven't really seen that consistent development, and that's you know what Kevin Stefanski kind of offense look like. It's finding your wide receivers, getting them open, and moving the chains. I mean, we need a quarterback to play like a point guard. Doesn't have to be that home run hitter. So, they could take a swing on him. We've taken swings and misses before, as the owner said. So, if they could get him maybe in the third round, I don't hate it. Any earlier than that, I think it's kind of a David risky decision. Inside joke there. But yeah. So I mean, I think you could do worse than him, but he would definitely not be. He'd probably be my fourth quarterback to take for the NFL draft this year.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so yeah, I think part of the game here is like where do we draft these quarterbacks? I think for for all these guys, it's probably the first pick in the second round. Another aspect of this game is who can we make sure the Steelers don't get? One quarterback rumored to be going to the Steelers, not Aaron Rodgers, but Will Howard, maybe another Ohio legend quarterback that could, make us deliver some pain over years to come. Will Howard, Drew, what do you think about picking up Will before the Steelers do?
You can't live in your fears especially not with that particular organization that has essentially no future. They'll go 9-8 like they do every year, but like you cannot worry about that particular organization. Yes, their history with quarterbacks is better than the Browns over the last 25 years, but that's because they haven't made one good pick, and they've tried elsewhere, and it hasn't gone great. So, you don't worry about the soon-to-be last place Pittsburgh Steelers. You just think about who's the best fit for your organization. If you want to talk about them, I've actually seen Jalen Milroe to the Steelers, which I think would make a lot of sense for them. They've got those two really good deep threat wide receivers in Pickens and now Metcalf. And, with Milroe, the three of them could just crash out together and get into gigantic fist fights on the sidelines. And it would be worth actually watching a last place Pittsburgh Steelers game. But if you're asking about Will Howard, I wore the shirt here, the national championship shirt, just because I knew we were going to talk about him. He'll always be one of our guys here for what he did, the run that he had in the playoffs. And so I'm going to say all the good things about him. He'll give you the toughness that you look for in a quarterback. He has the size to throw over the line of scrimmage. He's got very good mechanics, especially a lot of these guys coming out. That's something that they really have to work on. You don't worry as much about that with Will. Really good accuracy in the intermediate, and deep to a certain extent. And he's certainly poised in the pocket. That goes along with that toughness. He's not afraid to take the shot if it means delivering the ball down the field. And he can scramble when needed. He is a good athlete, certainly a plus athlete for his size. So I think he's going to end up a really solid backup quarterback in the NFL, and you could do worse than picking Will Howard in the 4th round or something like that. If you need a backup quarterback, I think he's going to be an excellent choice for someone. Some weaknesses, there's a lot of half-field reads, and that's not a mechanism that he can't do it. It's a mechanism of the offense at Ohio State. And then the big question is he that accurate, or is he throwing to like nuclear strength, elite level wide receiver talent? And a lot of people said the same thing about CJ Stroud, but it was very evident that he got as much and he made those receivers better than they might otherwise have been with a regular, decent but not elite level quarterback. I don't know that the same is true for Will Howard. I don't know if his arm is strong enough to effortlessly make all of the throws required of an NFL quarterback. So I don't think if you're picking him, this is not somebody bottom of the 1st. This is not somebody in the 2nd round. They're probably looking at end of the 3rd round, or, realistically, they're thinking about him early in day 3 if they haven't yet picked a quarterback. If you haven't picked a quarterback at that point, you're really looking for a backup just in case, and somebody you can have on your team for the next 3 years, given that most likely Pickett and Flacco are not going to be here. So I'm just fine if they pick Will Howard in round 4 or something like that. They've got a really good cost for a backup quarterback for 4 years. You could do worse than that, but if you're looking for somebody to eventually be the starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns, I think you're looking beyond the top 2. It's Jaxson Dart, who could play a little bit this year, Jalen Milroe, who needs at least a full year to sit, but has the ceiling to be that elite level quarterback. Beyond that, you're thinking about a backup quarterback, and to me, that's more of a 4th round, 5th round type of a pick.
I love the John Gruden QB interview that he did with Will Howard.
It was very good, yes.
Extended version, too, in comparison to some of the older ones, to be able to go out on the field Love that series with Will Howard. And maybe, Travis Hunter, Jerry Jeudy, David Njoku, maybe an Ohio State feel there with that receiving group. Maybe not, but a lot better corners in the NFL as well. Eric, let's go to the last one here. One that is a little lesser known, but is in all the mock drafts has gotten some attention. Tyler Shough. Is that a possibility?
Anything's possible with this franchise, so I would never say never. But to be honest, I watch college football. I don't watch as much as I used to when I was in college or in high school. But Tyler Shough was not a name that I heard regularly on a weekly basis. His positives, he is a seasoned veteran. There's no denying that. He has a decent amount of experience. He has finished 7 years of college football, 3 with Oregon, 3 with Texas Tech, and 1 with Louisville. Maybe he's a nice guy. I would put that in the positive category. I haven't heard anybody say he's a crazy guy off the field, so there's that. And the negatives, I mean, he's got his injury history. Not only has he been there for 7 years, he had never played more than 7 games in a season until this last year at Louisville. A lot of that's injury related. He's had multiple transfers, and he started out as the backup for Justin Herbert. Unlike Cam Ward and Shedeur Sanders, and you could even argue Will Howard, they have not elevated the program to a height not seen since they arrived. Will Howard was given the keys, and he didn't crash the car. But the other two took the programs and took it to the next level. You can't say the same about Tyler Shough. I mean, he's 26. I feel we already have a 26-year-old on the team that's a backup for now. His name's Kenny Pickett. So he's never really been in the spotlight. Like I said, I haven't seen a game. Never seen a memorable game of him or anything he's done exponentially well. Again, maybe his osmosis of being around football for 7 years is going to help, but I think this is a 6th, 7th round, just to literally fill out the room. And if he makes the team after training camp, great. If not, it's a 6th or 7th round pick, and we've done much worse with much earlier picks.
Well, just like Russell Wilson, how we buried him after that burial by Eric. I hope Tyler Shough doesn't join the Browns. Good luck in your future there, young man. But yeah, that you make a good point though with Kenny Pickett. Some intelligence there, there's some experience there. Maybe Kenny Pickett has a chance to
I'm good with the backup.
Joe Flacco. We really like that pick. We've seen Joe Flacco have success here, and let's look at other positions. Maybe it's even offensive line in the 2nd round. But I will be happy. Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, get one of those guys with that 2nd pick. Don't trade down. Don't make us wait all night. And let's go Browns.
Go Browns.
Go Browns.